I'm here to talk about the sustainability initiatives we have at the Elmhurst School District. So first, we're going to start with the sustainability initiatives that we have put in our schools. So first, we're going to start with the Mighty Acorns at Fisher. So luckily, thanks to our partnership with ComEd, Fisher Elementary students got to become Mighty Acorns. Through this program, students planted and created a natural sustainable ecosystem in the open area near their school. Our fourth graders got to participate in a pre-field activity, and there they kind of got to explore components of the local ecosystems. They got to see the issues that threaten local habitats, and of course they got to kind of see what actions they can take to actually help take care of nature. And then once that was completed, our fourth graders and our third graders actually were then able to go into that field and kind of connect with the local ecosystem that they had built from scratch. So before that, there was nothing there, so that was all them. And then we also have our York Eco Club. So the York High School Eco Club is a 15-member student organization that promotes sustainability to their peers and their community. Last year, they were actually awarded a $2,500 award from a Trex Film Recycling Challenge for promoting the importance of recycling and collecting recycling. In total, the Eco Club collected 4,442 pounds of recycling and plastic. So the group utilized the award money to actually install 2 more water bottle fillers in York High School to kind of promote that reducing effort of plastic. And now we're going to look at kind of some sustainability initiatives that we have put in place in our buildings. So District 205 actually adopted the Illinois Green Clean Standards in 2008 and was the first K-12 district in the state to achieve gold status for compliance. We also utilize a natural lawn maintenance program with applications of a 100% natural fertilizer and no lawn herbicide, as well as incorporating the process of core aeration and a one-time overseeding. Now we're going to kind of look at the new construction initiatives. So we have high-efficiency mechanical and electrical systems included in all of our new buildings to enhance comfort while reducing energy consumption. The extensive use of sustainable and recycled materials is a further indication of the environmental sensitivity and awareness that is used in the design of our new facilities. We are currently targeting LEED Silver certification from the United States Green Building Council for all of our new construction.
All right, thank you very much. My name is Dan Payne. I'm the Director of Parks at the Elmhurst Park District. I'd like to start off by giving an overview of the Parks Department structure and responsibilities. We're 13 full-time maintenance staff in the department, split between 3 crews, and we have up to 20 seasonal staff that assist our operations from April to November. We maintain nearly 500 acres of open space that includes 27 ball diamonds, 2 trail systems, and the conservatory and growing facilities. And the topics I'll cover in the presentation today will primarily focus on the responsibilities of our horticulture crew. So what is sustainability? For the answer, I'll quote the US EPA. Sustainability is based on a simple principle. Everything that we need for our survival and well-being depends on either directly or indirectly on our natural environment. To pursue sustainability is to create and maintain the conditions under which humans and nature can exist in productive harmony to support present and future generations. Balance. Balance is the key part of sustainability, and I think we do a great job of that in our park maintenance operations, balancing sustainable natural environments while caring for a wide variety of recreational amenities. When I was asked to present today, I immediately thought of a great project that the Park District and Elmhurst Cool Cities Coalition recently completed. Together, we created a native plant demonstration garden at Wilder Park. The garden showcased a variety of native plants and made recommendations on the best types for different conditions in a residential lot: shade, wetness, low growing, full sun, those types of conditions. The demonstration garden was part of the Elmhurst Cool Cities Coalition Start in Your Yard initiative. The initiative was based on Doug Tallamy's book, Nature's Best Hope, A New Approach to Conservation That Starts in Your Yard. The idea behind the initiative was to incorporate native plants into our home landscapes to improve ecosystems and support sustainability. My hope is that after learning more about sustainability at the Elmhurst Park District, people can then bring some of these practices back to their homes, because even on a smaller residential scale, there is still great value to these things. So to start off, natural areas and no-mows that are in the parks. We're continuously expanding these natural areas and no-mows and looking at underutilized spaces, low spots, and buffer strips to incorporate them. It's a simple process. First, we'll identify the areas and identify and define those areas During the first year, we start by stopping mowing those areas and allowing the grass to grow back. By year 2, we begin to add in seeds and plugs for natural or native plants. And then into year 3 and beyond, it's weekly, monthly, and annual maintenance for these areas. A couple of examples that I like to highlight is the detention basin at Quartz Plus in the parking lot. It started out as just a triangular shaped natural area detention basin that had some native plants in it. After several years, we've expanded it out more and more, and every year we're just taking a little bit more of that turf grass out and putting native plants in. Another example is at Ben Allison Park and at Crestview Park on the backsides of the sled hills. Those were difficult areas to mow because of the steep conditions. And so instead of having the challenge of trying to maintain turf grass back there, we stopped mowing those and then have been incorporating native plants into those spaces. Natural areas do not require extensive mechanical maintenance that turf does, so mowing, trimming, etc. So therefore, including natural areas reduces emissions. And operationally, it also reduces the wear and tear on our equipment, so the fewer hours that are spent mowing and operating the equipment is good too from an operational standpoint. Natural areas create or expand wildlife habitats, and in quoting Doug Tallamy, they're creating conservation corridors, so spots for, rather than turf grass and just trees and mulch, actually having plants and conditions that attract wildlife and help sustain the ecosystem. They also develop seasonal interests, so year-round vibrant colors and textures that are much more enjoyable compared to just a bland turf grass space. Natural areas do reduce maintenance, but they do not eliminate it. It's more a physical, labor-intensive maintenance compared to machine-based. So looking at a couple locations, I'll pull up the map. We have kind of the evolution of the natural areas here at Eldridge Park. So if you look at the top left picture for 2005, that darker area is an existing natural area, and then the buffer at the bottom along Butterfield Road, again, that darker shade, natural area as well. And then you'll see over the course of several years, the darker areas that circle the perimeter are all expansions of the natural areas that we've installed in the park, creating nice buffers to kind of isolate those different recreational space, and also, again, from a maintenance standpoint, eliminating a lot of mowing. And then at East End Park, it's a little harder to tell. I'm going to step away from the mic. If you look there, that was a poor draining location in the park. That's actually standing water you're seeing on the map. And so what we did is we removed the pathway that went through the low spot. We did some work to improve the drainage, and then we inserted plugs for water-tolerant native plants. So now what we went was from an area that was an eyesore and a maintenance nuisance area, we now have a more desirable area that is a great, there's a little seating section there and a nice spot for just to enjoy the natural environment. So taking something that was unusable and making it a usable space. So moving on to monarchs and pollinators. We have a beneficial insect garden that at Marjorie Davis Park. This location was selected to be adjacent to our garden plots and was completed in conjunction with a local Eagle Scout as well as a local Girl Scout troop. Plants were selected for this garden that attracted insects that help with pollination and also pest control. So again, creating alternatives to using chemicals or mechanical means. We also have certified monarch way stations at Barron's, Eldridge, Wilder Parks, as well as the Great Western Prairie, and have pollinator and monarch-friendly plantings in nearly all of our parks, and typically they're incorporated into our sign beds. If we don't have large natural areas, the sign beds will be the locations for those. As far as butterfly gardens go, we added one to Wilder Park following the renovation in 2013 of the conservatory and the greenhouses. And this is an amazing little strip of grass that was on the south side of the greenhouse that went from, 2 years of seed to full-grown plants, and the colors are just amazing. So it's a very formal garden, but the butterfly garden there accents it perfectly. A little bit more of the natural side of things, obviously beneficial for the insects and the butterflies, but also creating a very aesthetically pleasing site. And then just recently, we completed the installation of a butterfly garden at Kiwanis Park, and that was done in part with the Elmhurst Kiwanis Club, who helped with the funding and the installation of the garden. Pollinator boxes or bee hotels, along with bluebird and bat houses, are at multiple locations. We've completed these projects with the assistance of local Eagle Scouts. So always, again, wonderful to be able to incorporate members of the community in the installation of those. As far as invasive species and weeds, so we talked about all the good things that go along with the natural areas. There are some challenges. As we've added the native plants, we do continue to have to contend with the invasive plants and weeds. Challenging problem exists in many of our natural areas and also in along property lines and fence lines. Removal and control requires a diligent approach due to the hardiness of the weeds and the plants. But we I think we do an excellent job with that, and I'd also like to thank our volunteer groups along the prairie who work tirelessly to maintain those areas and to keep the native or the invasive species and weeds out of that location. As far as greening up our turf care, we manage 190 plus acres of turf grass. So since beginning in 2019, we have excluded 30 acres, so that's roughly 15% of our turf grass. From the broadleaf weed control applications. We've also, if you combine this with other locations that are pesticide-free, that's almost a quarter of our turf grass does not get treated during our broadleaf applications. We're continuing to investigate and expand the usage of organic herbicides for spot treatments and do not use any glyphosate-based products. We've also shifted from synthetic fertilizer to organic and organic-based fertilizer for all of our turf grass. And then we have two locations, Van Voorst Park and Marjorie Davis Park, totaling the 7.71 acres of organic and pesticide-free parks. And at these sites, we only use fully organic products for all of our turf maintenance. But one of the biggest things as far as greening our turf operation has been investing in quality seed and mechanical controls. We use seed that has a higher drought tolerance and wear tolerance, particularly on our sports fields, along with greater turf density to help resist weed pressure. So rather relying on the quality seed and quality grass versus chemical controls. And we've also increased aeration and top dressing, particularly on sports fields, to help combat that. Converting gas-powered equipment to batteries. We've committed to investing in battery-powered equipment. To date, we've eliminated 30 gas-powered tools from our inventory and replaced those with battery-powered. We've been very satisfied with the battery power equipment. The technology's come a long way, especially on the commercial side, where the runtimes and usage rates are much higher than the residential equipment. But beyond emissions reductions, they're also better for our patrons because of the nature of battery-powered equipment. It's on or it's off. So that's great when we're dealing with, when you're working around customers. And then they're also much quieter. And it's also better from a training standpoint for our seasonal staff, as they're much simpler operation because they're, like I mentioned before, on or off, and there's no mixing of fuel and storage for those equipment, especially out in the parks. From an education standpoint, we've added additional informational signage to help create awareness of our natural areas at Eldridge, Great Western Prairie, Marjorie Davis, and Wilder Parks. And as mentioned at the beginning, regarding the native demonstration garden, we worked to create this highly educational garden in Wilder Park. And like a special thank you to Elmhurst Cool Cities Coalition for their generous donation of time and funds for this project. Then along with the informational signage, staff and volunteers are also creating hands-on and nature-based learning experiences for the community through the Great Western Prairie Workdays, scout and service projects throughout all of our parks, and the Eldridge Adventure Days. So get involved. Feel free to contact us. We do have plenty of opportunities to get your hands dirty, learn, and give back to the community through Scout and Service Projects, the Prairie, and the Adopt a Park program. With that, that'll conclude my presentation. Thank you. Oh, turning it over to the library.
So thank you very much for having the library here today to talk a little bit about some of our sustainability efforts. Here's just a little outline of what I am going to talk about. Our certification for our Earth flag from SCARES, some things that we've been doing at the library, and really talking about how our lending model of lending and sharing, I apologize. Lending and sharing really is at the core of what we do at libraries. We loan material, we share resources, and that really is at the core of sustainability. I move around sometimes, so I have to remember to stay put. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about our makery. So talking a little bit about the certification process, We kind of went through several steps in our process to become certified. We hosted an employee training opportunity with our Staff Institute Day in 2019. Over the years, we've had many opportunities to partner with Kay at Scarce and her team, and offered plenty of, or several programs on sustainability and reuse. We sponsored an activity or an initiative with our carpool, walk, and bike ride initiative. We've also implemented our collections of reusable items such as plastic tabs from the bread tabs, plastic gift cards, and crayon drives that Scarce then is able to convert that to other material. Our last thing that we worked on with Scarce is working on our self-assessment, and as well as our green audit, which was them coming out basically and just walking with us throughout the library and letting us know what things we are doing really quite well, and things are giving us ideas and of things that we can improve on. So in last year, actually, September of 2021, we were awarded our Earth flag, which I brought here to just show off to all of you, which is this, our beautiful flag that we're really proud of earning. And I understand that after 5 years, we have to kind of reapply to be recertified, but we're really proud and excited about the work that we have done. And again, just talking about sustainability is really built into what we do at libraries. But it was a wonderful experience from our standpoint, working with Kay and her team. So some of our notable efforts include things like just the way the building was built. We have a lot of windows, so a lot of natural light. We have the native grasses that are used in the landscaping. We have motion sensors in the room, so when a room is not in use, the lights are off. Same thing for our computers. Recently, we just actually installed environmentally friendly water bottle filling stations in the library, so we're excited about that. So now some of our programs. So we have partnered with Cool Cities and had them have a display asking people about committing, about starting their own yard, and initiatives kind of this coming from our One Book, One Community, which was Nature's Best Hope. And so that was really fun to be able to have that interactive component of patrons being able to sticker on the Elmhurst map where they live, and talking about possibly starting their own garden. So other things we've done is growing programs on growing greens indoors, kids conservation initiatives on learning about insects, beneficial bugs, composting, and also learning more about native plants and pollinators. We also worked with Donna Castellanos on upcycling some books to create new art. I don't know, some of you have seen some of her work, because she also offered a program for our patrons, which was a lot of fun. And we're also, in February, we are going to be having a craft swap, and any of the materials that are left at the end will be donated to Scarce, and they will use them and send them out to their classrooms. So now talking a little bit about some of our partnerships. We have had some of our displays that that depict various kinds of pollinators, including birds and bats and that sort of thing, to show how they support the health of plants, people, and the planet. We also have informational posters over the summer on bumblebees of the eastern United States with pictures and, if you can believe it, the names of 21 different species. There was also interactive questions for patrons and staff, as well as sticky notes with pen for them to write their answers to our question, what are your favorite pollinators and how do you welcome and protect them? Which is just a really fun interactive way to get patrons to be thinking about and discussing ways that they can welcome perhaps and protect pollinators. Mary Beth, who is our director, also she is on the Rotary Club, and we had available to patrons bingo cards created by the Elmhurst Rotary Club to promote awareness of butterflies and their migration, of their 60,000 tree challenge, a multi-country community outreach program with a focus on monarch butterfly migration. The Rotary's goal is to save the monarchs by raising enough money to plant 60,000 trees in Mexico, where the monarchs winter, to replace the trees that are disappearing. So I wanted to also highlight and showcase some of our collections. As I mentioned earlier, our loaning and resource sharing is core to what we do at libraries, and we do continue to share plenty of books, music, and DVDs, physical items, but we also showcase and highlight some of our nonfiction collections, some of our digital collections as well. I'm just gonna scooch over here. So, let's see. Oh, that did not, let's see. I'm trying to click on that digital collections there, but okay, it's not gonna go through, that's fine. So I'm showcasing a little bit about, on our website, the different resources that we have, such as downloadable ebooks and e-audiobooks from some of our providers. We also have things like streaming videos and streaming music. You can read a magazine now from your iPad from resources from the library without having to come to the library, which is very nice and convenient for sometimes busy schedules that we all have. You're not able to come on out, that's okay. You can just go to our website and we can have some of these digital resources available for you. Part of our Library of Extraordinary Things collection, we have things such as Rokus, which have access to popular streaming services such as HBO Max, Apple TV, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime. Come check it out for a week. Take a look and watch some of your favorite movies or award-winning movies. We're finding now that some of our DVDs that we used to be able to order, well, now they're not available in the physical DVD anymore. They go straight to streaming services. Well, now we're still able to offer to our patrons these items, even though they're no longer available in a physical format. Other things that we have are things like Extreme Kits. Extreme Kits are in our kids department, and they provide a hands-on STEM learning. STREAM stands for Science, Technology, Reading, Engineering, Arts, and Math. So we have a nice variety of different interactive kits for kids and families. Okay, let's see here. I'm kind of frozen here, so I will just continue on. Let's see if it'll let me go. Yep, great. So the last thing I wanted to talk about is our makerspace. So 5 years ago, we were able to convert basically a storage space into 4,500 square feet, roughly, people space. So we have a space where you can come and take a class, learn about the different pieces of equipment that we have there. Really popular projects right now include etching our charcuterie board or wine glasses using our laser cutter, customizing a mug using a sublimation printer, customizing t-shirts or bags using heat transfer vinyl and our Cricut, and also submitting 3D prints. In the Makery, we also make some of the missing pieces for some of our collections that we have, specifically our board games, so then that reduces having to order things and have them sent out. We'll just make them downstairs. Our staff is incredibly talented and creative, and staff from other departments are often very amazed at the things that they can make down there. We also will recycle or reuse some of our books that we no longer need in the collection, and that either they're damaged or we can't continue to have them in the collection. We'll use some of those pages as things to make our buttons. Some of those illustrations are just gorgeous and beautiful, especially in the kids' books. So we'll create buttons or have them for different projects downstairs in our Makery. So with that, that's my presentation. Now it is the university. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for this opportunity to talk with you. To talk to you about sustainability initiatives and programs at Elmhurst University. So I'm Desiree Chen. I'm Senior Director of Communications and External Relations at the university, and I'm here with Nora O'Malley. She's our Executive Director for Facilities Management. Nora is going to be telling you a little bit about some of the sustainable design practices we use in our buildings and our construction projects, some of our green technology, sustainable and recycling practices that we use in our buildings and other infrastructure, and our food services operations. And then I'm going to be talking a little bit about our green roofs and our Campus Tree USA designation and our environmental studies program. So to give you a little bit of an overview, Elmhurst University has a tradition of stewardship. In our earliest years, the students on our campus tended a campus farm, and they ate the fresh vegetables that they grew there. Today, our core values include a commitment to responsible stewardship of the environment, and we incorporate green principles in every aspect of our campus life. And so now, Nora will tell you a little bit more.
Great. Oh, thank you. Hello. I just wanted to share a couple things that you may not know about the university that may be new or maybe weren't something you thought about. So in addition to recycling of everyday consumables, we also recycle furniture, mattresses, and we partner with organizations to take away some of that waste, so we're not just leaving it in the landfill. In terms of physical spaces, we have a dorm called West Hall that was certified LEED Green in 2009. We have a new permeable parking lot that we just finished construction on last year. And something I'm super excited about that's very recent, is just wrapping up now, is we recently decentralized our high pressure steam boilers and upgraded our building automation system. That allows us to better control the gas usage throughout the campus and better control our areas of heat and heating in occupied and unoccupied spaces. So far, just in the past year since we've used it, this is we just finished our second winter. We have used 30% less therms than we have in last year. So I think it's a really exciting thing that we've done. Going forward, one of my biggest things I'm focusing on is we've done a really good job in changing out all of our lighting to LED, but I want to finish that project. So that'll be a really good and large move for the campus. Go ahead, Desiree.
All right, so let me tell you a little bit more about our green roofs to touch on a little bit more of our campus infrastructure initiatives. We actually have two green roofs on campus. There's a 4,000 square foot one that's on top of our Frick Center, and a smaller one on top of the Scheibel Science Center. Both are used for ecology and environmental science research projects. An interesting fact about the green roof, I think on both green roofs actually, we have a native Illinois species of prickly pear cactus growing on each roof. Also, our students, in addition to Kelly McCanis, who's our director of our environmental studies program, they've conducted research and submitted 2 manuscripts for publication in science journals, and they're currently working on 2 more. So they're really getting good use out of the environmental and sustainable features of some of our buildings and using it in their academic work. I also want to tell you, let me see. Oh, we also have 2 state-of-the-art weather stations, one on top of the Frick Center and one at the Heritage Garden, which is along Prospect Avenue. You probably see it right across from the library. And these weather stations are used to monitor environmental variables and help explain how weather and climate change are impacting native species. We also have Campus Tree USA designation. As you may know, our campus, our entire 48-acre campus is a nationally registered arboretum with 900 trees and shrubs, including many exotic and rare specimens. So the entire campus has earned Tree Campus USA designation from the Arbor Day Foundation for, I think, every year for at least the past decade. And the Tree Campus USA Award is given in recognition of our commitment to practicing effective urban forest management. Tree campuses set the example, not only for their student bodies, but also for surrounding communities by showcasing how trees create a healthier environment with purer air, cleaner water, and the shade and beauty that trees provide. We also achieved that designation by meeting a number of standards by the Arbor Day Foundation, including having a tree advisory committee, a campus tree care plan, dedicated annual expenditures for our campus tree program, and then an Arbor Day observance and student service learning projects around it. Finally, let me tell you a little bit about our environmental studies program, which is pretty new for Elmhurst. In 2019, in response to a heightened interest among students and the general public in environmental issues and growing demand for experts in the field, Elmhurst University launched an innovative undergraduate program in environmental studies. It kind of stands out for its interdisciplinary approach and the integral use of the Chicago metropolitan area as a real-world laboratory. The program offers 2 different degree options, a policy-focused Bachelor of Arts degree and a science-focused Bachelor of Science degree. Currently, we have 22 students in the program, and the numbers are split pretty much evenly between the Bachelor of Arts and the Bachelor of Science tracks. A few of our environmental studies majors are actually minoring, in environmental studies, and they're majoring in fields like advertising, biology, urban studies, and sociology. And although it's on the small side, the program has already tripled in size just in the 3 years that we've had it, and it's still growing. And we think, we've attracted students to that program because of its interdisciplinary curriculum and its hands-on project-based learning, and that it does get students to experience problem solving with environmental problems right here in the community. Students have gotten internships through this program and jobs from places like the Centers for Disease Control, the Costley Zoo, the DuPage County Forest Preserve District, and the Elmhurst Park District, Morton Arboretum, the Willowbrook Wildlife Center, and the Environmental Protection Agency. So that's a little bit about how Elmhurst engages with sustainability and stewardship of the environment here. Thanks again. Thanks for letting us talk today.